Let's talk about the volcano that created, as described by the Smithsonian, the most destructive explosion on Earth in the last 10,000 years. This is Mount Tambora, a colossal stratovolcano situated on the Indonesian island of Sumbawa. It is a breathtaking natural landmark that has captivated explorers, scientists, and adventurers for centuries. Rising massively to a towering height of 2,722 meters, or 8,930 feet above sea level, it stands as a brilliant natural fact of the raw power and beauty of Earth's geological forces. Mount Tambora's significance, however, extends far beyond its imposing presence. It is best known for the monumental eruption that shook the world in April 1815. This incredible geological event, one of the most powerful volcanic eruptions in recorded history, had a lasting effect on global climate patterns, ecology, and human history. The eruption spewed vast quantities of volcanic ash, gas, and debris into the atmosphere, triggering a phenomenon known as volcanic winter that led to widespread crop failures, famine, and social upheaval across the globe. In this video, we will explore the awe-inspiring beauty of Mount Tambora and delve into the events surrounding its historic eruption, as well as examine the enduring impact it has had on the planet and its inhabitants. So, as with all volcanoes that we explore on this channel, we like to look exactly at how these geological marvels have been created via the Earth's engines. Located on Sumbawa Island in Indonesia is the active stratovolcano called Mount Tambora, also referred to as Tomboro. The island itself is flanked by oceanic crust on both its north and south, and Tambora was formed by active subduction zones beneath it. Tambora drained off a large magma chamber inside the mountain, originally raising it to a height of 4,300 meters, or 14,000 feet above sea level, making it one of the tallest peaks in the Indonesian archipelago. It took centuries for the magma chamber to refill, with volcanic activity peaking in April 1815. We'll get to that event in just a minute. According to the Smithsonian Museum data, the first eruption of this volcano dates more than 5,000 years ago, as far back as 3,910 BCE. This data is accumulated using isotopic samples collected from the region. For more information, you can find the link to the Smithsonian data page in the description below. So, let's talk about the most significant event of this geological marvel. What did the most devastating volcanic eruption look like? And how did it impact the indigenous people of Sumbawa and perhaps even life on Earth as a whole? The History Channel classifies Mount Tambora's 1815 eruption as, quote, the deadliest volcanic eruption in recorded history, end quote. About 100,000 people perished in the immediate aftermath, making it the most deadly known direct impact volcano eruption, according to historians. This particular eruption measured a rarely seen VEI 7 on the Volcanic Explosivity Index, making it one of the most powerful explosions the Earth had experienced in millennia. However, many more people perished during the ensuing years as a result of global secondary impacts. According to Ghislaine Darkey Wood, author of Tambora, the Eruption That Changed the World, he claims that there was a 3-year period of climate change following Tambora. Quote, the world grew colder, and for 3 years the weather patterns were radically altered. Thus, there were widespread crop failures and malnutrition throughout Asia, the US, and Europe, end quote. The volcano spewed 100 cubic kilometers, 24 cubic miles, of gases, dust, and rock into the atmosphere and the surrounding area. The eruption quickly claimed 10,000 lives on the island. Because this incident happened before the telegraph was invented, word of it spread slowly. And so, even though this eruption was 10 times more than that of the violent Krakatoa eruption in 1883, it is generally less well known. You can find a link to our video on the 1883 Krakatoa eruption in the description below. The volcano's smoke caused the worst extended spell of harsh weather in thousands of years. Tiny ash particles were discharged into the mid-level atmosphere, or stratosphere, where they absorbed heat and blocked solar light. The troposphere, or lower atmosphere, cooled as a result of the decrease in sunlight. resulting in a volcanic winter that lowered average world temperatures by 3 degrees Celsius, or about 5.5 degrees Fahrenheit. A few years prior to Mount Tambora's eruption, more volcanic activity intensified this volcanic winter. The Philippines' Mayon volcano erupted in 1814. Between 1812 and 1813, there were smaller-scale volcanic eruptions in the Caribbean, Indonesia, and the Ryukyu Islands in Japan. Considering it was such a massive eruption, surely there were large-scale effects. What were the effects on the Earth as a whole? Taking a break from this video, are you interested in learning more about the amazing nature of volcanoes and how they impact people's lives on Earth? Support us by clicking the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest content. Now, back to Mount Tambora. What was the global impact? If the eruptions of volcanoes close to the equator are strong enough to discharge gases into the stratosphere, they have the potential to alter worldwide weather. Because it is too high to be removed by rain, this gas becomes trapped. It then moves down the equator and expands out towards the poles. This reduces the quantity of solar heat that enters the stratosphere. This has a significant impact on the ecology in which you live, in addition to deciding whether or not you should wear a sweater. Since Tambora erupted, global temperatures have cooled, which has resulted in less rainfall, failed crops, and widespread hunger. According to the Smithsonian Mag, there were many recorded global effects. We'll review the effects experienced by almost all continents on the planet. Starting in Asia, Bengal cholera underwent a mutation as a result of Mount Tambora's eruption, which also had an impact on the Bay of Bengal's ecosystem and environmental conditions directly east of the Indian subcontinent. Tens of millions of people died in a worldwide epidemic caused by this disease that spread swiftly and persisted until 1823. There was also disruption to the monsoon season in Eastern Asia and India. A 3-year famine struck the Chinese province of Yunnan from 1815 to 1818 as a result of persistently cold and rainy weather throughout the growth season. Writer Li Yuyang was motivated by the destruction of the Yunnan province to bring back to life the poetry of Seven Sorrows, an old Chinese poetic form that uses the senses to depict injustice and tragedy. Many local farmers started growing poppies in substitute of less dependable cash crops that failed after the Yunnan famine. The province of Yunnan rose to prominence as a global opium producer from that time. Secondly, Europe experienced several effects from the godly geological events. Immediately following the conclusion of the Napoleonic Wars, which devastated continental Europe, Mount Tambora erupted. As a result, the 1816 year without summer severely affected Europe. With lower temperatures and more precipitation, food became scarce and riots broke out all over the continent. A famine resulted from the potato, wheat, and oat crops in Ireland failing due to the country's deteriorating climate. Over 40,000 people died from a typhus outbreak that occurred during the year without summer. Because of the gloomy weather, writers stayed at home a lot during the summer of 1816. A writing competition that several writers participated in resulted in the inspiration for Lord Byron's Darkness, John William Polidori's The Vampire, and Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. Reddish-orange sunsets were generated by volcanic ash in the sky that had come from Mount Tambora's powerful eruption. Numerous artworks such as Woman Before the Rising Sun by Caspar David Friedrich depict the peculiar sunset colors in the years after the eruption. Thirdly, in the US, the impact was widespread as well. Snow and frozen soil that lasted late into the summer of 1816 disrupted the regular growing season in New England, in the northeastern United States. An enormous increase in food prices led to a movement of people to the west. In Indiana and Illinois, where farming was less impacted, many families were compelled to relocate westward. The first significant economic downturn in American history, the Panic of 1819, was brought on by Mount Tambora's eruption. After the year without summer, significant investments in the western US agriculture were lost. In 1819, when European crops stabilized, lowering European dependency on US grain exports, and therefore affecting the macroeconomic relationship between the two continents at that time. After learning about the volcanic history of Mount Tambora, it stands as a monumental testament to the immense power and unpredictability of nature. Its cataclysmic eruption in 1850 not only altered the landscape of Indonesia, but sent shockwaves across the globe, affecting weather patterns, agriculture, and even human history. The tragedy of Tambora serves as a massive reminder of our vulnerability in the face of natural disasters, prompting advancements in volcanic monitoring and disaster awareness. Moreover, its aftermath underscores the interconnectedness of global systems, as the volcanic ash and gases spread worldwide, influencing climate and ecosystems far beyond the island of Sumbawa. Yet, amidst the devastation, Tambora's legacy also highlights resilience and adaptation as communities gradually reclaimed and repopulated the affected areas. As we continue to study and learn from Mount Tambora's history, it compels us to appreciate the delicate balance between human civilization and the forces of nature, urging us towards greater stewardship and understanding of our planet. Well, thanks for tuning in to another episode, and be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content. See you in the next video.